Hello friends, I haven't been making very many videos lately. Dan has been very ill and we've been praying for him. It's looking grim, it really is. But we are hopeful. We're not like the pagans, we have hope. And it may not be for wellness in our bodies as we live in them now. It might be just the hope of the resurrection that's coming very soon, by the way. The world doesn't even know how imminent the return of Yahusha really is. And we just have to learn how to love. The scriptures are very maligned and distorted, and we're trying to get the word out, the word of Yahuwah, the 10 Commandments that train us all how to love one another. And we are, some of us are not doing a very good job of learning that. Anyway, we had a visit today with my family, my brother. I went over to his place and we watched a train, and I put it on the front of this recording. I hope you like it. It's one of those events that I was standing about 10 feet away from the tracks, and that train was coming, and I had to run out there. And take a video of it. I hope you like watching it. It was about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Anyway, today we're going to be discussing the origin of the word Christianos. Christianos isn't a Hebrew word, it's a Greek word. And it's used 3 times in the Greek translation of the Natsarim writings. It's not found in the Hebrew at all, anywhere, because it wouldn't be necessary. We weren't called Christians by anyone but at first we were called that by the people of Antioch. Now the people of Antioch were heathens, and when they encountered one of the Natsarim, that's one of us, they thought we were kind of dizzy, a little bit touched, a little slow, easy to trick. We could be as kind as possible. We had the fruit of, and we still do have the fruit of Yahusha in us. And those fruits of him, the characteristics of him, are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, trustworthiness, and gentleness, and self-control. And those are not typical traits of human beings. That's not the way they act. And so the people of Antioch were saying, these people are slow, they're retards, they're idiots. They used the term of scorn, and that term of scorn was Christianos. Now, the 3 times that word is used in the Greek text, if you look carefully at the surrounding texts, you notice that this is not a title or a name of us. It's a scornful label that's being cast upon us, whereby we were aligned with murderers, thieves, and things like that. And I'm going to read a little text here from part of the scriptures so that you can actually see the context. And that's where we really learn. But you see, words have been reinvented and revised in their meanings over time. So we need to, approach this thing with some intellect and study and question. So check this out. The origin of the word Christianos is not cognate or similar to in any way with the Greek word Christos. Even though they're right next to each other in the Greek dictionaries, it doesn't mean anything that they're related. The G5547, Christos, means anoint, as with oil. And Christianus, which is G5546, the word just before that, is one who fails to develop mentally or physically, producing the modern word Cretan. If you look up the etymology online of the word Cretan, Cretin, you'll see that this traces back into the word in Greek, Christianos. but they invented it over time. The similar spelling caused translators to redefine this scornful word to become a follower of Christ. A follower of Christ. Now, the people of Antioch first called the Natsarim Christianos. It's a term of scorn and reproach in the Greek language. The followers of Yahusha were called Natsarim by him. Natsarim is what he called us at Yehuchanan or John chapter 15, verse 5. He said, Ani hagafen, I am the vine, Ata ha-Natsarim. See also Acts 24, verse 5, and you'll see that Paul was accused of being a ringleader of the sect of the Natsarim. The term Christianos means idiot. It really did. And you can trace this modern word, Cretan, directly to this, Christianos. And people are just not doing that. Now, the context that we see this word used in 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 15 and 16, is right here. Now, quote, "But let none of you suffer as a murderer or a thief or an evildoer or as a meddler." Those are terms of scorn. "Yet if anyone suffers as a Christianos, let him not be ashamed, but let him esteem Elohim in that name." Unquote. Now, 1 Peter chapter 4 is putting this into context, whereby there's a suffering from being labeled a murderer, thief, evildoer, or meddler. And he associates the one suffering with under the labeling of the word Christianos. Let him not be ashamed. Well, who would be ashamed of what you are? Except that you're being accused of being an idiot, a retard, a person who's slow, mentally crippled. That's what this word meant in the Greek language. Because you're suffering. And it's something to be ashamed of, if you're cognizant of what you're doing, but you see today, there's been so many centuries of misunderstanding from people trying to understand the scriptures. And the Greek word here that's called name in this last word of this sentence, let him not be ashamed, but let him esteem Elohim in that name. Now, the word name, it doesn't mean that it's what we were naming ourselves. It's something that others are calling us. You see that? And this word name in this Greek sentence is Greek word 3686. Onoma. A label. A reputation. What a person is identified as. Or a character trait. That's the definition of that word. A character trait. Like, wow, they're calling us names now, Peter is saying that we should not suffer being labeled as a murderer, a thief, or evildoer, or meddler. But if they want to call us idiots, to embrace their taunting, as Mashiach was also scorned. Etymology will prove this is true if you investigate this issue thoroughly. People are not going to want to hear this. It's cognitive dissonance. It's painful when you're thinking something all along and it's not true, and then you see it turned around as being something not good, then it hurts. And people, I can't accept that. Well, you can accept it if you have the mind of Mashiach. If you have Yahusha's mind living in you, you will understand this. What we've inherited is a revision that's imposed by a teaching authority that controlled literacy for many centuries. The philosophers at Alexandria, Egypt, hatched many revisions at the catechetical school at Alexandria through their writings. And they're honored in the seminaries as church fathers. We are Natsarim, branches. We're not Cretans. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.